to Cork.
Yes.
And Limerick will lose the Limerick Carthy by default. And it'll have to go then to some other organisation will have to take it, a proper GA organisation.
Yes.
Where the people are sovereign and where our independence, and recognise all these, and the players who went, and look at the great players who went before them.
Yes.
And recognise those, and
yes.
And run it in accordance. It's like our sovereign Dáil government, that has to be run in accordance as well with the sovereign constitution. And those people gave their lives to this. I had that letter out now to show.
But it is, though, a sad reflection on
it is shocking.
A heritage game that we all grew up with. Our ancestors grew up with it in very hard times. And for the sake, surely be to God, the brains of the government within the GAA could have done this in a different way and still become a corporation.
Well, look, a corporation does not. Trade is the lifeblood of a nation.
We have to, yes.
You have to trade today.
Yes.
But you have to be responsible to the sovereign government and to the sovereign people. And that's in the first sovereign Dáil government.
Yes.
All those chocolate dollars were they had to be accountable.
Yeah, correct.
To the sovereign Republic
correct.
of Éire, the sovereign Dáil government, the judiciary, and to the sovereign people.
Yes.
And that's the important thing. But these crowd don't want to be accountable to anybody.
This is the problem. There's an arrogance there, which I feel that J.P. McManus, the great man that he is, should be influenced or should be educated in such a way as to go and talk to these people. And that's the problem. It's not happening from the top down. But I'm very disappointed in Limerick not taking up this type of situation, which is part of their heritage. I don't really know. That could be the GAA ringing you now, Billy.
Could be, John. I can't even find the phone.
No, you're fine. We'll carry on anyway. That'll cut itself off. But the one thing though, Billy, that would be very, very important is this type of material should go national headline on our papers.
But it isn't. Did you see anybody mention it?
But I've a feeling.
John emailed all that with this is not an All-Ireland medal to all the papers.
Well, I was contacted now since our last interview by 2 journalists who will take up this story on the national media, and what I will do there is get them to contact you, Billy and John, and I think all of this information now needs to be highlighted.
Well, you're
very,
the
very
only one
important.
That's doing it.
Well, it seems to be I'm sort of the lone soldier, as I have been told. But I think people need to be educated in the whole area of what the GAA corporate entity has done. And I think what needs to be done before it gets nasty, out of hand.
And it will get out of hand.
Well, I think Limerick should bow their heads in shame with what they have done.
I don't think the players are. Now, we showed this down in Askeaton.
We did, yes.
And the reason I'm showing it to you again is that, look, that's the Star of David. You see them there.
Correct.
And that's the Knights Templar.
Right.
And look, there they are again.
People were so interested in this.
Strings,
yes.
And that's why they were taken, and that's why they came here, the Hebrew people, and searched Tara and New Grange. They didn't go to Old Grange, but they don't have it either. And look at this corporation has ruined the world, and that was Henry VIII. Well, there were other
That's right, yes.
And look at left wing and right wing on the feathers. That's very important in politics.
Well, I'll probably be castigated for this, but you know what Henry VIII was good for? He was chopping off people's heads, including his wives. But anyway, leaving that aside, I don't want to get into trouble with the Queen.
That's your first angel. That's your guardian angel.
I've seen that, yes.
Gabriel. Look at the feathers. Look at the 1776, isn't it?
That's correct.
They had That's their independence. Look at them. There's a good one of the 1776. Oh, right. But it is shocking to see what's going on in the world today.
Well, Billy,
and
when we actually see the horrific scenes from Kabul airport,
shocking, and we're going to see more.
And unfortunately, they are expecting, the authorities now are expecting another wave of attack by the new ISIS. Okay, it's you know, we all thought foolishly that the ISIS were gone.
Yeah.
The ISIS are not gone. No, look at what they've done.
What is America and what is Britain doing there? They went out. This is what the Britain has always done. They did it here. They did it. Look, sovereignty. You go into sovereignty. You go into a country. You respect that country's sovereignty. You respect the sovereignty of the state, of the government, and of the people, and of their assets. Britain didn't do that. That's what Henry VIII, he turned the monarchy into a corporation. Look at that there.
Yes.
You've seen that
Oh,
before.
I have seen de Gaulle's Irish roots traced.
They were here yesterday. Isn't it amazing? His first visit.
Macron, President Macron.
And I hope John sent him that, whether he took it or not. Look at theirs, look. You have all the... These are all part of the GAA and all part of our history. And it is shocking that no one bothers anymore.
They are actually starting to open up a conversation on all of these issues. But, you know, when we look at it, I don't know the political... I don't know the political system.
You didn't, John,
why America went in.
Did anyone ever teach you anything
for a war in 20 years? Now, I know a lot of it was to do with the results of the 9/11 butchered attack in America.
Wrong too. But P, you can't go into another country and just take what you like as the if your might is right.
Yes.
And that was Britain's, and that's where. You know what they did.
Correct.
And that day is gone. It's gone worldwide because we're so powerful now, mankind.
Yes.
I can.
Well, when I was listening to the State of the Nation address by President Biden in America yesterday, but he had a different tact from former President Donald Trump. He was more conciliatory to the media, which is a blessing, but. You see, the revenge attack is going to happen by America to what they did to their troops in Kabul, and we send our deepest commiserations to the families of those great American people. But Afghans now are left in a total, and I think the
disaster, John.
The only solution that I can see is, and it's mooted now, that maybe the Taliban might bring in other parties to form a government and stability and keep ISIS out. But I'll tell you, if ISIS get a grip anywhere in the Middle East now, because Afghanistan is only one point, they will actually expand their terror campaign across the world as they did before. And that is the worry. The nature of ISIS hasn't changed. So we just hope that the Taliban can see sense.
Yes, John, but we go back to sovereignty. We go back to what we're talking about.
Correct. Yes.
The sovereignty is everything. If you haven't, sovereignty comes from God. Corporations and proclamations and everything else are man-made.
Correct.
But if you don't respect God and he's airbrushed out of everything, nobody wants to know. I mean, that means that you can go into any country and you can do what you like. And this is what's happening in the world today. And it's happened since Henry VIII. And that's what he did. He turned them. The Queen does not have sovereignty. She has royalty. And that's since Henry VIII. You know, one time they had it, and you had to have it in those days.
Yes.
You have to have sovereignty. And sovereignty is respect the nations, and we've just said what it is. And that's what it is. And we have to go back to that.
But Billy, there's no respect for nations now.
There's no respect at all.
You know.
And you see those 2 5-stringed harps?
Correct.
They were changed to angels.
Yes.
For angels don't mean anything today in anything.
Well, God means nothing today now anyway. Only, you know.
Nothing.
And
people don't care.
It's sad.
No, it is sad.
Because at the end of the day, nature is revolting against us.
It is. It can't.
You know, because of what we've done.
Where are all the birds singing? Where are all the nature? They're not here anymore.
No.
They're gone.
But humankind will pay a price and are paying a price.
The next generation will pay the price. And as Jerry, we did that in Askeaton.
Correct.
Shown the new age is coming next
Yes.
year,
Yes.
and that's going to change everything, you know. But we're not ready for it. We are ready, I suppose, in a way that we know, but it's very sad to see that happening. You know, when you see the consequences of what's going to happen. You know?
Billy, I hope you and I and John Robinson and those great people like Jerry Donovan and William Sheehan and Anthony Sheehy, I hope we're all around next year to see the new age, because I can assure you.
Well, I think it's a shame that you know, not to teach history, and I think it's what's down in Askeaton,
yes,
and what we have here, and all that.
Correct.
You can see Lochgore from here. You know,
and I'm looking forward to that invitation as well.
Yeah,
when
well,
the time is right.
over, and she is putting all her furniture together.
Yes,
and she has guests there at the moment. And the next time she's over, she said she'll have her house done, and you couldn't ask her to.
No.
You know,
I'll tell you, people's minds are going to be blown away, Billy, when they see the connection between Lochgore, Askeaton,
and the Skelligs,
Newgrange. All of that will come in together. It'll dovetail in.
How to build the pyramids of Egypt. What's that doing? What else? And I keep on asking, what is the Star of David doing up on the wall in Askeaton? What's it doing in Lochgore?
Yeah.
Why did these people come here for this sacred, you know, God? No man or woman understands God, but you can understand the 2 5-string harps.
That's correct.
And that's them there. If anyone who wants to see it, there you put your face the sun, which is there, and you put your 2 hands together.
Yes.
Sunship and moonship.
Yes.
There's the harp, sun box. You're born in the image of God.
Yes.
As simple as that. No, there's nothing. We're not even a religious organization. We're a secular organization.
Yes.
And that's what we follow. And that's coming down from the house of David. I'm from the house of David. And as you know, I was anointed.
Yes.
And as I was from the house of David. To keep this alive. And that's all I do.
You're doing a fantastic job, Billy.
But anyway.
But no, you are, Billy, because people are talking, and these interviews that go to America and around the country and around the world, people are asking questions now that they never did before.
Yeah, well, I hope Americans ask, where are you getting your sovereignty from?
Yes.
Because that's what the Brendan Voice was. That's what the Knights Templars were. They were protecting the sovereignty of God and the sovereignty of mankind.
Yes.
Those old monks, that's what they were doing. You know, mankind didn't know how to preserve food. They didn't know anything about this planet Earth.
But I have learned so much from you and Anthony Sheehy.
Well, you learned it from yourself.
And Jerry O'Donovan. No.
Well, you have 5. You have, look, it's your 5 senses and your intellect and your reason and your 5 senses. You're the sovereign, and that's what you do.
Yes.
But you cannot corrupt it. If you corrupt it like they're doing for the GA, just for money.
Yes.
You know, that's going to fall. That's going to fall on his head. And what about those players? I mean, look at the training and the work they put into it.
I'll tell you, just to finish today, Billy and myself, we really have to say this, and you're absolutely right, Billy, and thanks for raising it. We have to commend all the men and women out there who tirelessly, every day, every night, 360 days of the year, train as if there's no tomorrow.
That's it.
And our managers...
Dedicated. And then they're betrayed by the GA.
But you see, this is the question now that we have to get out there. But we have to commend them. All our athletes, they are the emblem of this country.
Yeah.
And our wonderful Para-Olympians that are... We could be so proud of the men and women that are out in Tokyo at the moment as well, doing us proud and themselves.
All coming from the same, giving them the opportunity to be
Correct.
there.
Exactly.
That's all you need, is the opportunity to education and to understand.
Education. It's the key.
Look how planet Earth works.
Yes.
How to look after it.
Correct.
That's all the IRB ever does, is to look after it, the best way of doing it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, I'm just going to conclude here with Billy, but just take a look at the, we'll call it the beautiful, absolute foliage here.
It's in seed at the moment. You were here for the summer solstice.
I was. But look at that.
Flowering meadow.
Correct.
Flowering meadow now.
That was intriguing.
There's an Easter lily going over. They're all going over at the moment.
Yes.
If you look behind you, look at the mullein there. They're behind you at the back.
Oh, yes.
You like that? That's one of your favourites.
It is. Oh, yes. Yeah, the mullein.
And those other yellow ones are, what are they? They are, can't think of it now.
And I'm just looking here, Billy.
But smell that, smell those, but just smell that.
What are they?
They're
Do you mind me-
lilies.
Oh, they're lilies.
Yeah,
Shows
smell
my
that lily. The
shows
night
sh-
time you should
shows
get
my ignorance. Oh God, that's a beautiful scent off that.
And there was white one there, but that's gone over.
But isn't it absolute magic here? Do you know what? Excuse me. The school children should be brought here just to see the beauty of foliage and the wildness and everything. And I see the old water well pump here as well.
That's where the well is down there.
Down here.
275 feet.
Oh, is it? How old is this, Billy?
This house?
The well.
Oh, well, I put a new
Yes.
automatic one down into it. But
Yeah.
That's where the water. They had to drill a hole for that.
Yes.
Because there's no water in Kappa. You're up on top of it.
Oh, you're on a hill. Yeah. Billy, thank you so much indeed.
You're very welcome, John.
Thank
All
you.
we're doing is giving the people
The information.
The information.
Correct.
To do it.
And thank you indeed.
To find out.
And that's it from What Matters in my very good second home.
You'll nearly
In
have a cup
Kappa.
of coffee after all.
I made in Germany, but bought here and drank here in Kappa in County Limerick. Gorda Míle Mágat agus Slán.